What's up, everyone? Welcome to the August 2nd edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO when you sign up and make a deposit to Prize Picks. You'll receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on your first deposit. You'll also receive 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit. We have a full 14-game MLB slate tonight. And as usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks and top pitchers tools on the Stokastic.com website. Do keep in mind that this slate is a little bit different than normal. Today is the trade deadline. It will have come and gone before the slate locks, but as a result, there certainly could be some massive changes in starting lineups compared to what we're expecting right now. And as a result, some pretty big swings in top stack percentage and or top pitcher percentage. But we're going to take a look at the way things look right now. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Baltimore Orioles are taking on Spencer Howard tonight in Texas. Howard has really not lived up to his hype as a top pitching prospect in Philly. He hasn't figured it out in Texas either. So far this year, he has only struck out 15.7% of hitters with a 5.04 xFIP. Baltimore's active roster has a 97 WRC plus with a 159 ISO. This is a team that could look a bit different by lock. Anthony Santander may or may not still be on the team at that point. Smaller chance that Cedric Mullins could move, although that seems a little bit more unlikely. But Santander is the one that I think is most likely to end up being traded, and that would hurt their offense if it happens. But for right now, he is still a member of the Orioles, and he is likely to be hitting in the middle of this order. Number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers are taking on Bryce Wilson tonight in Pittsburgh. The game being in Pittsburgh is a downgrade for Milwaukee in terms of power upside, but Bryce Wilson is a good matchup for the Brewers. Wilson has only struck out 13.9% of hitters with a 4.98 xFIP so far this season. Milwaukee's active roster has a 108 WRC plus and a 182 ISO. They're currently projected for 7% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. And number 1, the New York Mets are taking on Corey Abbott tonight. It's sort of a bullpen game. Abbott went 4 innings in his most recent AAA start, so I assume we're getting 3 or 4 innings out of him tonight, and then a Nationals bullpen game after that. He doesn't project to be a particularly good pitcher, and in 28 and a third innings at AAA this year, he did strike out 25.6% of hitters, but he also had a 4.92 xFIP. He's facing a Mets team that has a 118 WRC plus and a 160 ISO on their active roster. They're projected for 7% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack. Now, before we take a look at the top tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. You can find it at the top of the screen. Use it, receive 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, use this promo, get yourself 50% off any weekly package. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, promo code AdamMLB gets you 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at those 3 starting pitchers for tournaments, this is a slate where pricing on DraftKings is pretty poor. There's a lot of value, and it creates situations where even though pitchers are going to be popular, they are also the best plays. So all 3 guys I'm going to mention are getting plenty of ownership, but they all also stand out at their respective salaries. Number 3, Spencer Strider, $8,300 taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. I really just have no idea what DraftKings is doing with this guy's salary. He is projected for 30% ownership. We have him with a 16% chance of being a top 2 pitcher, in addition to a 12% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. The Phillies are still without Bryce Harper, so you're getting a watered-down lineup. Their active roster only has a 98 WRC plus with a 22.7% strikeout percentage, and Strider leads the slate with a 36.4% strikeout percentage as a starting pitcher this season. He also has a 2.57 xFIP in those starts, just a completely incorrect price tag on Strider. Number 2, Christian Javier, $8,700 taking on the Boston Red Sox. There is a chance that the Red Sox get Rafael Devers back in their lineup tonight, which would make it look a bit better, but it's still a relatively weak lineup as you don't have Trevor Story. You no longer have Christian Vasquez. Who knows if anybody else from this team gets moved before the game, but their active roster right now has a 97 WRC plus with a 22% strikeout percentage. That will go up if Devers is activated and put in the lineup, but Still a pretty decent spot for Javier. He has struck out 32.6% of hitters with a 3.82 xFIP as a starting pitcher this season. He's projected for 30% ownership, but has a 19% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and a 12% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. And number 1, Corbin Burnes, 38% projected ownership, 26% chance of being a top 2 pitcher, in addition to a 9% chance of being a top 2 value at $10,100. He's taking on the Pirates in Pittsburgh, favorable park to pitch in. Really bad Pittsburgh lineup. They have an 85 WRC plus and a 24.4% strikeout percentage on their active roster. Burnes is second on the slate with a 32.8% strikeout percentage this season, and he has an excellent 2.77 xFIP. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Baltimore Orioles; number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers; number 1, the New York Mets. The top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Spencer Strider; number 2, Christian Javier; and number 1, Corbin Burnes.